And it's been a problem that has plagued police in Ohio for decades. The gang and gun corridor along I-90 between Chicago and Toledo. Now, last week, a mass shooting at a popular summer festival in Toledo left 12 people hurt. And investigators have revealed it was a shootout between rival street gangs there in a city where Chicago gangs have franchised neighborhood criminal organizations. NBC5 Investigates' Chuck Goudie joins us with that story. Chuck.
Alex, if you drive I-90 out of Chicago and proceed straight east, you will arrive in Toledo, Ohio in less than 4 hours. That corridor has vexed police and federal drug and gun investigators for years, ever since the Chicago-based gangster Disciples and Latin Kings started using the interstate as a high-speed delivery route for weapons and illicit drugs in the 1970s. Now, even with less direct Chicago gang oversight, there is a flourishing street gang presence in Toledo that boiled over on Saturday.
In the video evidence we have and the interviews we've conducted, this is most definitely two groups that were disrespecting each other, and it led into a little bit of a foot chase and assaulting another individual. And at that point, one person did produce a firearm and start shooting, and then someone from the rival group, if you will, decided to pull his firearm and start returning fire.
Without ever using the word gang, Toledo's police chief this afternoon describing what was a gang gunfight at this community summer festival in a Toledo park. Two gangbangers armed with pistols, according to detectives, opening fire and wounding 3 intended targets and 9 innocent bystanders, several still hospitalized. Police here say they're searching for at least 2 men in their late teens or early 20s and that they have recovered 2 guns possibly used in the weekend mayhem. Ballistics tests underway. Gang investigators this afternoon say the Chicago-based gangster Disciples have loosened the reins on Toledo's now largely splintered street groups, but still may be providing arms and drugs. Authorities believe nearly 3 dozen factions are still aligned structurally with Chicago gang headquarters, but that they call the shots on their own in Toledo. That doesn't make it any easier on police.
The footprint of the event was very large, and it's done that way for a reason. I understand that, but that also makes it a little bit harder to contain that event. Having the number of projecting or off-duty officers that were actually assigned there, the number of officers that we backfilled from the shifts to be there, we had an adequate number of officers at this event to try to maintain safety at the event. Unfortunately, there are incidents that happen rapidly, and unfortunately, we are not clairvoyant. We can't predict when it's going to happen.
Although Toledo's hundreds of street gang members and associates maintain ideological ties to Chicago Latin Kings and gangster Disciples, the Ohio city at the end of that I-90 gang corridor has adapted over the years, according to law enforcement, with a leaner, younger membership of so-called localized hybrid gangs, recruiting residents as young as 12. But as we saw just last weekend, just as lethal. Marion?
Thank you so much, Chuck Goudie from our newsroom.